All right, so in this video, I'm here with my good friend Stacy, who has been a Frisco resident for the last 10 years, and she is going to tell you everything you know about the good and the bad of living in Frisco. And if you stick around till the end, she's going to give you her biggest piece of advice when you're thinking about moving to the area, and we're going to get after it right now. Hey, if this is your first time to this channel and you want to know everything there is about eating, sleeping, working, playing, the good and the bad of living in Dallas, Texas, and the surrounding areas like Frisco, then subscribe below and tap the bell for notifications so you can be the first to learn about the current market in Dallas, Texas. And my name is Levi, and my partner Jimmy and I, we work with people just like you looking to make their move to Dallas. We absolutely love it. And so whether you're moving in 9 days or 90 days, just make sure you give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email. We'd be happy to help you make a smooth move to Dallas or Frisco. And so, as I mentioned in the beginning, I'm here with my good friend Stacy, and who has been a Frisco resident for the last 10 years, and also a wife and a mother. So she has been around all the things to do there in Frisco. And so we wanted to get her take about living in Frisco and what the good and the bad is. And we're going to start out with the good. And she mentioned one thing she really loved about Frisco is the schools.
Yep, number one. Mm-hmm.
So what would you like to say about the schools in Frisco?
The best thing about the schools, in my opinion, is that they keep them really small. Instead of having large schools where you could just be a number, Frisco kind of likes to keep it small, so everybody is an individual. They know you by name, you feel like family there, and instead of just like a college campus almost.
Right. Well, and I never thought about it like that, but actually Frisco has 10 high schools, 17 middle schools, and 42 elementary schools, which would equate to having smaller classes and sizes. Even though when you see some of those Frisco high schools, they are pretty large, but I like that take on it.
Yep.
So as far as your number two positive and pro that you really love about Frisco, you mentioned easy access.
Oh, definitely, and that goes for the schools too. I mean, almost every neighborhood has its own elementary school. So easy access to everything, schools, shopping, restaurants, medical facilities. We have, I don't know how many hospitals in Frisco now, but a handful at least. Yeah, anything you could ever want, you never have to leave Frisco.
Now you mentioned restaurants. Do you have a favorite restaurant in Frisco?
Mike and I like to go to Silver Fox.
Oh, there you go, Silver Fox.
Yeah.
So check that one out if you're in the area and you want to try it out. And so also, so number three now, you said you really like the fact that Frisco's a newer city.
I do. Yep. It looks cleaner. They have planned for expansion. The roads, the parking, the way things are spread out, it's a lot more aesthetically pleasing, but it's also convenient. Us moms need those big SUVs, and sometimes, like in the downtown areas, when you're going down those one-way roads, it's hard. So it's really easy. Everything's very convenient.
Yeah, and so that's a great point. And you mentioned newer, and that's the thing is Frisco really started to happen just within the last 20 years.
Yep.
And it is a master plan suburb. So that's something else you like about it is the restrictions, right? So they have a lot of restrictions in the city as far as building codes and aesthetics of buildings and things like that. It's a very, I would say, very Texas-esque type town where they use a lot of stone and white stone, and which I love. But they do that in Austin as well. But of course, it's much better in Frisco. But they really plan everything out, and it's placed very well. You would agree, right?
I would.
And so also you mentioned being extremely family friendly.
Yes. It's almost like it's made for families. Communities have neighborhood pools. They have parks. They have, again, the schools within the communities. They have sports facilities at every juncture, it seems like. It's really convenient and handy for families. I think that someone who were single, a young entrepreneur, a young a business person, they would disagree and think it was like awesome for a young single person, because there's a lot to do in Frisco, but it's very, very family friendly, and they try and make it easy for you to take your kids with you. Yeah.
No, that's great. And I think, it's actually projected. You mentioned young people or young professionals. They're actually projecting Frisco to surpass office space, surpass Dallas within the next 5 to 10 years.
Wow.
As far as available. Now, I don't know, COVID might have thrown a little wrench in that plan as far as, a lot of people working from home, but Frisco is expanding quite a bit with office space. And we've mentioned, actually, if you were to, after this video, and I say after this video because you want to watch this whole video, check out our full vlog tour on Frisco, where Jimmy and I actually walk you through Frisco. We talk about some of the top employers there. They're going to have some more tech firms moving in. If you've heard in the news, a lot of tech firms leaving California. One of the major ones is Oracle, which is one of the original tech firms in California. They already have offices in Frisco, so there's a good likelihood they might move their entire corporate to that area. And I have a lot of single friends in Frisco, and they have a great time. And that is one thing. You said easy access to everything.
Yep.
That is something to know, is that once you're in Frisco, you're usually in Frisco.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't venture down to the Dallas area, even though it's really only about a 30-minute drive. They tend to find a lot to do there.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
And you said also number 5 would be location.
Yes. Easy access to everything. The
Yeah.
airport, larger cities.
Yeah.
So we are a suburb. Frisco is a suburb, but you have access to larger cities surrounding you. It's only 2.5 hours from Oklahoma City. It's what you said, 20-30 minutes to
Downtown
Dallas.
And you're from Oklahoma, right?
I am. I'm from Oklahoma.
So
yes.
you still have family there?
I do.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So that makes it an easy trip to.
It is,
to get back.
and for grandparents to come see us, because there's so much to offer in Frisco. It's like going home is kind of boring. I mean,
Okay.
they're building a new amphitheater.
So it's easy for them to come to
yes,
you.
Yeah,
Oh, so that's
restaurants are better.
That's a big plus, right? I
Mhm.
mean, if you live just outside or
Yeah.
from Oklahoma, yes, now you get everyone to come to
Yep,
you.
yep.
You don't have to travel.
Mhm.
That's great. Okay, and also, you guys are big fans of Lake Texoma, right?
We are. Mhm.
So how long does it take you to
an
get
hour,
there?
55 miles,
55
door to door.
Oh,
Mhm.
sounds like you've made that drive
Yeah.
before.
Yep.
And timed it quite well. I'm assuming
Yeah.
with 3 boys
Yeah.
and a dog, that's a fun trip.
It
huh?
is.
So 55 minutes to Lake Texoma. What do you like to do on the lake there?
Swim, ski, tube, just hang out, relax.
All right. So that pretty much sums up the good side of Frisco,
Mhm.
and there are some downsides to Frisco as well, which we had to pry out of Stacy just a
Right.
little bit
Mhm.
because she just only wanted to talk about the good things because she absolutely loves it. But there are some negatives
Mhm.
that do come with living in Frisco.
Right.
And what would you say, number 1? You said traffic.
Traffic could be, one of them for sure. School traffic first thing in the morning. That it's not too bad because there are so many schools. Not everybody's trying to filter into the same location, but that's one. Yep, traffic, and then after school traffic, not too bad. Saturday traffic, all the kids going to their sporting events, and Costco.
Costco. Do you ever try to shop on the weekends, or do you try to do that when kids are in school?
Yeah, I would say probably the majority of moms do it when the kids are in school who can. I mean, we're busy. I'm at home and I don't like to take my kids to the store if I don't have to,
Right.
so
Gotcha.
during the week.
And then also you said, what was one of your other negatives? You said the history.
Yeah, there's a little bit of lack of history in Frisco. I mean, that's not even fair to say because the railroad goes through Frisco. There is downtown Frisco, and there's a museum there. And for the kids, they take a field trip there and they learn about Frisco history in the schools. But that's it. There's not
It's really
100-year-old buildings.
Yeah, it's really just the couple of blocks of
Yep.
old Frisco, a couple of blocks that had really been there forever.
Yeah.
And then it just exploded in the last 20 years.
Mhm.
They just built everything around it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then you also mentioned cost of living.
Cost of living is a little bit higher in
Yeah.
Frisco. Yep.
And in relating to real estate?
Yes.
Or whenever
Mhm.
you guys were looking for a home, or?
Mm-hmm. So we lived in surrounding areas around Frisco. The goal was always Frisco because it had so much to offer, and because of the schools. We knew that we wanted to have our children and live in Frisco for the schools alone. When we were living outside of Frisco, it obviously didn't cost us as much. That's why we chose to live there before
Right.
we had children. But ultimately, we did make the decision to move, and we ended up paying a little bit more to move into Frisco.
Yeah, and to get into some of the statistics of real estate, and that is the case. The cost of living is a little higher compared to Dallas. When you look at the median home price in Frisco, it's around $400,000. Dallas is around $285,000. So you can kind of see that difference. But again, because everything is so much newer in Frisco, you're going to get better homes, newer homes.
Right.
I mean, not a lot of homes older than 20 years old, unless you are around that little historic town
Right.
where they still have a few Victorian homes and things like that.
Yeah.
That you could, if you want some history or want
Yeah.
an old historical home.
Yep.
And so also, so you also mentioned like that also lack of large lots because
Yes.
the which is the case, right? There's not a lot availability.
Correct. Yep. You do pay a little bit more for the dirt in Frisco because there's such high demand.
Yeah.
There's so many people that want to move into the area that it just doesn't make sense for the developers to give away so much property for one family.
Yeah.
So they subdivide it.
Great. And so now to really wrap this up,
Mhm.
and what would be your one piece of advice for somebody thinking or actually in the process of moving to Frisco, Texas?
Oh, that's easy. A great realtor. It does make a difference.
We didn't prep her on that, I promise.
No. No.
She came up with that on her own. But because when you were buying, you wanted to, you really want somebody that is
Knows the
professional.
area. Yes. Somebody who's willing to listen to what's important to you, whether it be the schools or vicinity to the airport or to your job, and find the best place for you.
Great. And so there you have it. There's the good and the bad from a 10-year Frisco resident veteran. And again, whether you're moving in 9 days or 90 days, please reach out. We'd be happy to help in any way. Also, please comment below. If you live in Frisco now or used to live in Frisco, also share your thoughts on what you think the good or the bad is, or what you thought of Stacy, or if you like her dress too. It looks great, by the way. And so again, just give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email. We'd be happy to help you make a smooth move to Dallas or Frisco. And until then, we hope to see you around town. Bam! You nailed it.
Whatever.
Wow.
I said at least a million times.
No, that
Can you
was
edit
great.
those out?